Ah, man. Back. Too many lies. Too many lies. Run it back. Run it back. Too many lies.
So, Dama. Woo! Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies.
Too many.
Hey, it's too many lies, too many lies.
Too many.
Yo, it's too many. Hey, it's too many. Yo, it's too many.
I can't keep up.
It's too many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. They know that. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't gotta lie, they know we the vibe. We live in this
booth. You know your boy Boss got you, man. I had to reboot the stream back, but now that I'm back, I want to really kind of explain this, why I have my boy Scott Linehan up there by Matt Eberflus with Trevon Diggs out. The main reason I have that, because I'm gonna talk about how, to me, through my lens, this is very eerily similar to what happened with Scott Linehan. I've seen these type of actions before. It's weird, but I also go keep it fair, because I also can see it from partially from front office side too when it comes to Trevon Diggs, and I'm gonna be balanced as usual. I think it's a combination. I think it's two things that's going on, and I'm gonna get into it in a lot of detail. I think the main thing that's going on is Trevon Diggs is a victim of what's happened to a lot of different athletes. He won't be the first person to go through this. He definitely won't be the last. So we've seen this before with players that was actually even greater than him, to be honest with you. We've seen sometimes it's ugly, but in my opinion, what's going on is when owners start going against players when it come down to their bodies, it better go right. Because if it don't go right, they not gonna have no sympathy on the player. Don't matter who the player is. That's what a lot of people got to realize. And I'm gonna kind of break down all that. So I think mostly what's going on is Trevon Diggs. It's not even, to me, not just Matt Eberflus, because I think it got a lot to do with him and scapegoat tendencies. But I think it's even bigger than that. So y'all give me 1 second, man. Let me come right back. I'm gonna come right back. I just need to just make sure I got my monetization on. I'm gonna be right back. Y'all hang out for your boy. Be right back. Literally right back, like maybe 15 seconds. I just need to make sure we got the money going. We do. All right. So I see we do. So let me do one more thing. Let me make sure I turn on where I can see. I just need to be able to see y'all comments, and once I can see y'all comments, I'm going. Appreciate y'all rocking with Boss Cowboy Sports and the host, Boss Show Me, myself. So let's get it. All right, so I got it going now. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Got it. All right. All right, here we go. All right. Hey, and Henny, the link, it's already in there. So it's the game link. If you want to come on in, come on. So, this is honest to God what I think is going on. I think what's going on with this Trevon Diggs thing, because it's truly weird. This whole thing is weird. It's no way to try to act like this thing ain't completely weird. Okay. Now, what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna go with the typical conspiracy theories. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do the typical he missed Micah and his heart not here. I ain't gonna do all of that. I'm gonna go with what the evidence says, and then I'm gonna just kind of present that. And that's why people come here, because they know I'm not gonna go with the crowd. Somebody tried to say that it's contrary content. You can say what you want, fine. I don't go with the crowd. You know, I go with the evidence. They say I'm live on Landlord. Let me turn them off. My bad, Landlord. All right, so here we go. this is what I really feel like is going on. I'm gonna show you kind of the evidence, because when I say this is similar to Scott Linehan, y'all just listen to this and then we go kind of break it down, because first I have to show you that the things that I'm going to assume is realistic. Okay, that's the first thing. Is it realistic what I'm saying? And it's absolutely realistic what I'm saying. So here we go. Hold on real quick. No, that's not the right button. Here we go. I found it. All right. So it's right here. Thank y'all for being patient, man. All right, here we go.
Well, it's been a curious turn of events, Patrick, that's for sure. This started on Monday when head coach Jason Garrett went on 105.3 The Fan and said he didn't expect any significant changes to his coaching staff. Then in a 2 o'clock presser, he sort of walked that back a bit and said they haven't exactly sat down and had those decisions. I was then hearing rumblings internally within that building that maybe Scott Linehan's job wasn't so safe. And I think some of that has to do with perhaps owner Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones reaching out to some of these players, getting the same sort of pulse from them that I had when I reached out on Monday.
Hold on.
This was a guy this locker room wasn't sold on. It started last year. We saw guys like Des Bryant and Bryce Butler, Ryan Switzer, all voice their frustrations. Cole Beasley talking about that they just didn't think they were getting enough creativity out of Scott Linehan. We were also hearing things like, if you weren't a Linehan guy, you weren't playing. Things like, if you weren't a Linehan guy, you weren't playing. And we were also hearing things like, if you weren't a Linehan guy, you weren't playing. If you weren't a Linehan guy, you weren't playing.
Why do I highlight that? Huh? Because there's a lot of people to believe that this doesn't happen in the NFL. It happens. Where you have sometimes some coaches, they start targeting players. And a lot of times they start targeting players to cover for their self. Cause see, I already did some content on this. I think I hear you in the backhand.
Yeah, I'm here.
So I already did some content on this a while ago. And let me go pull it up real quick, and hold on, hand. Let me fit you in too. I'm gonna have to fit you in the ugly way. It'll work though.
Oh, good.
All right. Ah, damn. Hen.
Another one.
What
Yeah,
happened?
we back. Man, when I added you, it crashed it.
Ah, damn.
Cause I got so many receipts, bro. That's what happened. I loaded up so many receipts. So for those y'all been sitting back waiting, I'm back. So we got Henny with us too. So Hen, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through a lot of these receipts. If you feel the unction to say amen, say it. But what I was saying, and what I pulled up was that Jane Slater was clearly showing from her talking to the inside that there are times where coaches will target players and play them less. So, and that's exact. I'm gonna play it again in case people kind of coming in late, but it's a very, very important thing because a lot of people, especially if you haven't played, you'll be under the assumption that the best man is always going to play. That's sometimes not the case. Okay.
True.
So I'm going to talk about this from different angles. So I'm going to also talk about this from Steven and Jerry and what I think this got a lot to do with his knee and the offseason. But let me go back to Jane.
Well, it's been a curious turn of events, Patrick, that's for sure. This started on Monday when head coach Jason Garrett went on 105 through the Fan and said he didn't expect any significant changes to his coaching staff. Then in a 2 o'clock presser, he sort of walked that back a bit and said they haven't exactly sat down and had those decisions. I was then hearing rumblings internally within that building that maybe Scott Linehan's job wasn't so safe. And, I think some of that has to do with perhaps owner Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones reaching out to some of these players, getting the same sort of pulse from them that I had when I reached out on Monday with.
Hold on.
This was a guy this locker room wasn't sold on. It started last year. We saw guys like Des Bryant and Bryce Butler, Ryan Switzer, all voice their frustrations. Cole Beasley talking about that they just didn't think they were getting enough creativity out of Scott Linehan. We were also hearing things like if you weren't a Linehan guy, you weren't playing.
Well, that says a lot, don't it?
Man, if you wasn't a Linehan guy, you weren't playing. What's your thoughts on that, Hen?
Man, listen, we know, that politics are always in play with any aspect of life, man. Like politics be at play at your 9-to-5 job. So when there's multi-million-dollar players and coaches at play, there will be politics play, and that's why a lot of times people suffer from regime changes. You might be a good player, but you ain't somebody that I recruited in or brought in. You weren't my guy. I don't know you. I don't trust you. You don't fit my vision of what's going on. So that can lead to friction. And when you think about the Dallas Cowboys and how we're currently constructed, we done had 3 defensive coordinators in the last 3 years. So in the eyes of somebody like a Eberflus, he don't owe Trey anything. He ain't. I didn't take a chance on Trevon Diggs. I don't know Trevon Diggs. He was here when I got the job. And when you have that kind of mindset, and and when Trey been hurt as much as he's been hurt, he ain't really been here. Like this would listen. If it was Trevon Diggs a couple years back, he would have been protected. He was all pro Trevon Diggs. He was selling jerseys. He was a marketable figure in Dallas. Like they would never let Eberflus play with that man like that. You know what I'm saying? But because he's been hurt, out of sight, out of mind, not being able to play, Eberflus can do this little whole ass shit to him.
Yeah, and see, let me show one thing about this Eberflus thing that a lot of people might not know. Like, cause I've heard all kind of stories of it was when Diggs spoke out. So I actually have what he said. Okay, this is Diggs allegedly speaking out about wanting more man. So he said, I wouldn't say it's more complex, but when you're playing man, you're right there with the person. As the weeks have been coming, playing zone has been easier, way easier. So, Hen, is he speaking down on zone?
Nah, he just saying what the process been like. He just talking about what he talking about.
Yeah, it's just this is what the process has been like. I see it the same way. I feel like we're on our way to getting better and being our way to making plays, Diggs said. So let me show the other part. At the end of the day, it's not about what I want. So hold on. Does it sound like he calling out Matt Eberflus and trying to make him look bad?
No.
Does it
He's
sound
been very professional about it?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's professional. It's not about the other people. It's about the whole defense wants, what coach wants, what coach thinks is best for us to win. Is he calling out Matt Eberflus?
No, he just said it's about what he thinks, his vision is, and he pretty much, without saying it, he making it sound like he buying into it.
Yeah.
More or less, he just said like it's gotten easier. This is what Matt Eberflus want to do, and we gonna go out there and we gonna do it.
Right. And he said, and if he feels talking about Matt Eberflus like this gives us our best chance to win, we gotta play it and just play it to the best of our ability. It's not to point fingers at nobody. It ain't nobody's fault. We gotta execute. But Henny, what's the narrative?
that he dragged him publicly and he took shots and called him out and everything else. I mean, matter of fact, even the Grits comment wasn't even about zone. They were talking about quick pressure.
That's right. I got it right here.
You remember how they took that out of context?
Yeah, they took that all the way out of context. And see, that's why man, hold on, let me show. I got it right here. I'm gonna show the whole context of, and then people start running with it. To your point, fans start running with it, right? They start running with it like he was speaking against Matt Eberflus, and he wasn't. He was complimenting pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
So after Sunday's win, Trevon Diggs complimented Dallas pass rush. We say when we get back there fast, it's called instant grits. So he wasn't even talking about secondary. you know, Diggs has been vocal about his comfort playing man coverage, not zone. Now, this is why I don't like Matt Eberflus right here.
That shit he said he don't like grits.
Yeah, but it's the fact that he got played like a goofy. Like DC Matt Eberflus asked Thursday if playing more man versus the Jets made players like Diggs feel more validated. That's what got under his skin.
Mm-hmm.
Validated. That's what got him. Because that's what made him take a shot. He said, we're going to make decisions based on what we feel is best, based on the matchups, based on what we have. And I don't like grits either.
Went out like a hoe.
Yeah. And see, that's why I think it's some Scott Linehan-ish going on. And I'm going to point to it too. He said, all the Diggs haters got what they want, and the cornerback continues to be ass. I don't want to hear if they miss Diggs. I want him back. It's a lot of people that want to get worse on purpose.
And this is my thing. Me and Lou just talked about this. Cause me and him did a impromptu show. Like, you can say what you want about Trevon Diggs. More than one thing in life can be true. If Trevon Diggs having a Trevon Diggs caliber season, he's not playing to the caliber he normally does.
No.
Has anybody else on this damn football team done enough to keep Trevon Diggs on the bench if he's healthy?
No.
And the answer is equivalently fuck no.
Right.
Like, you can say what you want, but Trevon Diggs ain't running out there with no big ass Robocop leg brace. He ain't got two bad feet like the run playing.
Right.
You know, Kalen Carson, he ain't even played 17 games yet. That man is still technically a rookie. So he might be the tallest midget, but I want the best opportunity to win.
Yep.
And he gives you the best opportunity to win, you know, if he's healthy enough to play.
Right. It's that simple. So, now, this is what makes it, to me, really, really bad. To me, it's the fact that they was saying he was practicing good this week and that he had a good week. That's what makes it really, that's what makes me point to Eberflus doing what, like Scott Linehan said. What Scott Linehan, when they said, if you want a Linehan guy, you played less. That's exactly what they said. Because it don't make sense. How can you play good? Everybody say that you practice good. But then when it's time to play, they say no.
Makes no sense.
It don't make no sense. Yeah. So that's what let me know that this is not necessarily football related. I think this has to do with the knee. I think it has to do with the knee. Let me listen to him real quick and we'll talk about it. Listen.
Great place. At what point did you feel healthy enough to, like, you trust your knee? How long has it been?
Last week. Yeah, last week I felt good to play.
Now let's talk about that real quick. He just now said last week is when he started feeling better.
And you know what? It makes a lot of sense given the kind of injury that he had. So me and you talked about it. Like, that's an injury that could take upwards to 18 months to come back from.
Right.
And how quick did Trey come back? Like, what was the time frame between when he had the surgery when he actually came back and he reported played week 1?
Right.
Like 9 months, if that.
If that.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if he was sore and injured and hurt, because people forget he didn't tear ACL. His knee was bone on bone without any cartilage in it. So they manually took cartilage from other parts of his body, put it together in the shape it was supposed to be in, and inserted it into his knee. You know what I'm saying? That's what went on with that. And it takes some time, man. Like, he got to cut, run, stop on a dime, be explosive. Like, there are offensive linemen that did not come back from that injury. You know what I mean? And they don't have to be nowhere near as sudden or explosive as a cornerback.
Yeah.
So it was foolhardy to believe that Trevon Diggs would be 100% year 1. Like, this is really, especially because he had compounded injuries. He just tore ACL the year before, and then the following year he had to get this procedure, done to the other knee. So you're really shouldn't even be trying to evaluate Trevon Diggs this year. You should have just rested him to about this point, had him ready for the postseason, completely healthy, and then you would have had Trevon Diggs, full off season of just working out and getting better, next year. I think they totally mismanaged how they even handled his injury any damn way. And I feel that this shit happened because they weaponized his absence.
I think, to be honest, I think what happened is
I didn't get a lot of practice though.
Ooh, and that was last week. Mm-hmm. See, we can't. All right, so this is why I think it's the knee. I think it's the knee because I think Trevon was in a lose-lose. I want to get your thoughts on this. Mm-hmm. And be as objective as you want, be as confrontational as you want. But I think Trevon was in a lose-lose because our training staff had D's graded by the players. The players union also gave the Dallas Cowboys staff a failing grade. Okay.
Correct.
So now you in a situation to where with your body, you got to make a decision. Do I go with a doctor that's a failing doctor, right? Or do I trust my future to my guy? Now, if I get it wrong and I have anything go on, they're going to blame me. And do you blame them for blaming him?
Now, this is why life is sort of crazy.
Yeah.
Because objectively, I understand from a business standpoint why they would want Trevon Diggs with their doctors, with their personnel. And, I also would understand having paid somebody, them not playing that much under the extension that I given him, right?
Right.
He only played 2 games in 2023. His season was cut short last year. He only played like half the games or so, and he's been out since week 6 this year. And if they don't activate him by December the 20th, he'll be out the rest of the season. You know what I mean? So, from the standpoint of, hey, I extended him, he's been hurt, and I don't feel like I got my money worth. I understand that shit. But at the same token, this ain't like he had any disciplinary issues or anything. He did not go out there and like, I'm going to get hurt. That was not the man's intention. You cannot control injuries.
Yeah.
You cannot be jaded because somebody got injured playing the sport. You know what I mean? Because that happens in football. Football.
I think you can kind of be jaded, though. I think you can. I think you can be jaded because unless he came back and was healthy, you could always have in the back of your mind, if he would have been with our guys, he wouldn't have been having the other knee issue.
But see, this is back-to-back issues, though.
No, I'm with you. But I'm just saying, like, if you Jerry and you Steven and you paying your doctors to make sure he's right, okay, and he doesn't go to your doctors and then he comes back and he says out his own mouth, I missed some practices over my knee.
Yeah,
like
I listen. I understand that, but I'm just saying it's not the first time he dealt with an injury with them, if I had a bad experience going through it your way, because remember, he tore his
No,
ACL.
I agree with
the
you.
year before, and he came back and he still ended up re-injuring himself. And
Under
I
them.
rehabbed with Britt Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It went bad. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It did not go well the last time he rehabbed with him.
Yeah.
So, you know, I understand where they're coming from, but they should not be so disingenuous, and I understand why Trevon Diggs feel the way that he feels.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I honestly think is going on here, I don't think this is nothing major. It's going to be blown up because it's Dallas, bro. But I think this is just history repeating itself, bro. I think this happens not just with Trayvon. This has happened with bigger stars. This happened with Brady, bro.
Yeah, when he left New England.
Yeah, he left New England over the same reason. He wanted to deal with his doctor. And these owners, in my opinion, when they be like, bro, we paying you, bro. You belong to me. You see what I'm saying? It happened to Luka. It happened to this ain't unique to Trey.
Kawhi
You know?
Leonard.
Yeah, it happened to Kawhi Leonard, bro. And I think it's gonna happen to another athlete. And I kind of get it from the owner's perspective a little bit. If I'm paying you millions, right? If I'm paying you millions, but you going outside my resources in which I vetted, you better be right when you get back. If you're not right when you get back and you have any problems, I'm gonna have a problem because you went outside my resources.
And I get that, and I understand that, and you know that is fine and dandy. Like that is true.
Yeah.
You know, I understand why they would feel that way.
Yeah.
But them not, you know, putting into their mind like, hey, nobody around the league thinks much about our medical staff right now. Like they don't think we have the manpower to do an efficient job. Like the Player Association says, our own player says. We just had Trevon Diggs, and we could not keep him healthy, right? Because he did it the right way the first time and got hurt, you know. So I just feel like them taking such a strong stance and them skirting responsibility themselves and not making the improvements needed to, you know, their medical staff. Because people would not be if your shit was that dope, folks would not be going outside to find, you know, assistance with the knee. If your shit was dope and you were doing the shit you were supposed to do as a company from the management perspective, you know, like the players will be here rehab, you know. And I'm not saying they're bad, but they don't have manpower. Like you gotta think about it. That Prescott, you know, would swear up and down for Britt Brown, but it's also Dak Prescott. He's
right.
a $60 million quarterback.
Yeah.
He is going to get priority over Trevon.
Everybody, right?
Yeah. So you know, there are some people that will swear by Britt Brown because he gives them the attention. You know, they focus on them.
Right.
But a guy like Trey, you know, they probably ain't been giving him the resources or the time because I want people to also remember that they're not saying that they're flat out bad. They're saying that they're understaffed. That's why they always end up with the piss poor grade. They're saying that they ain't got the manpower.
That's it. That's perfectly said.
But if you know that, if you know that you're neglecting people, if you know like Britt Brown has been with Dak Prescott this entire time, when the fuck was he supposed to be with Trevon Diggs?
Right. Yeah.
We've been overshowing to Dak Prescott. Then you know he's the primary guy. You ain't got that much manpower. If he's with them, then when the hell is he going to be with Trevon Diggs? When you think he spent a lot of time with Josh Butler? I know this is off subject. Do you think that Britt Brown was spending a lot of time with Josh Butler?
I don't believe
in the building. Yeah. So you want me to be here so you can neglect me, nigga?
Right.
So I didn't even say that.
No, I'm with you. Now, I do want to uncover real quick what happened, okay? Because a lot of people not going to really see what happened. I'm going to show it. This is what happened. What happened is it was some snitching going on from the coaches, okay? I'm going to prove it. Me and you already went through this. I'm going to show it again, okay? Listen.
Vikings.
Does everybody in the organization believe that Trevon Diggs still has the potential to be a good to great football player?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in him for sure. We just got to, you know, the biggest thing, you know, that makes all the sense to me that our coaches keep coming back to is
who?
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Vikings.
Does everybody in the organization believe that Trevon Diggs still has the potential to be a good to great football player?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in him for sure. We just got to, the biggest thing, that makes all the sense to me that our coaches keep coming back to is, we've got to get him to where he practices well on a regular basis. That's when he plays his best football. When he's not able to practice and he misses practices, then unfortunately that's translated to how he plays in games. So we just got to get him out there where he's practicing day in and day out, and I think we can get it out of him.
Yeah. So the reason why is the coaches was making a case, and I think it was Matt Eberflus. I think it's him.
Now, let me be fair, because I do gotta ask this. At what point do Brian Schottenheimer step in and mitigate some of this shit? Because this is the same person that said competition every day. This is his mantra, and this is his regime that is being put in question right now. And if the right person don't play, if they're not living up to the standards that he's supposed to be setting and the culture he's trying to build, how much longer do you let Matt Eberflus, if it is Matt Eberflus, because I'm not totally sure that Shotty ain't police like that. So how much longer do Shotty, sit back and let Matt Eberflus do it? If it is Matt.
Nah, it gotta be Matt. It's the evidence is Matt. You know why it's Matt? If we deduct all the reasoning, right? Because you just heard Steven say we trying to get him to have a good practice. You heard that, right? Then this is what Brian Schottenheimer said. Listen.
Especially when you're 320 plus pound man, sometimes it takes a little longer.
How's Mr. Diggs doing?
Doing well, having a good week. Again, like we said, see how today goes. And again, excited to see how he finishes the week.
So didn't Steven just say we just trying to get him to have a good week?
Mm-hmm.
Now, didn't Brian just say he had a good week?
Brian said he had a good week.
So
my question is then Shotty, like you said, he had a good week.
Right.
You're the head coach.
Yeah.
Why the nigga not playing?
Right.
Like Eberflus worked for you. You may not have hired the nigga, but he worked for you.
Does he?
End of the day.
Does he?
On paper.
Right. You see what I'm saying? You know why I asked that.
Mm-hmm. I know, because we know nothing about Eberflus' contract. He already had prior existing relationships with the Dallas Cowboys front office.
Yep.
He would be considered what we call a son. So, Jerry Jones pretty much let it slip that he was the one that recruited, Matt Eberflus when he became available. He talks a lot on his radio appearances.
Right.
So
this could be a power dynamic issue. Similar to what happened with Kellen Moore, right? Remember? Kellen Moore had more power than Mike McCarthy. Because Kellen Moore was the Trojan horse. He was the Trojan horse coach. He was the groomed coach, just like Matt Eberflus. Groomed, here because Jerry and them wanted Kellen there. Steven wanted Kellen there. Jerry wanted Matt Eberflus. So now, and I'm with you on what you're saying. You right. You 100% right. How much of this do we put on Brian?
Because listen, regardless of the circumstances, if shit goes sideways, this is going to be your head on the chopping block.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like fair is fair, because we didn't give Mike McCarthy the excuse of Kellen Moore and all this other shit, even though we knew that Kellen Moore was already here before he even got hired. But when we failed in the playoffs, we said Mike McCarthy failed. Mike McCarthy didn't get the team over the hump. Mike McCarthy didn't motivate the team. So, if we just going off that shit, we're going to have to do the same with Brian. Like, Brian, I understand that they took a risk on you. I understand that you like it here. And I understand, that you love the Jones family for what they done for you. But if you allow Matt Eberflus to sabotage the season, you are culpable.
Yeah.
You have responsibility in that. Because remember, we need 10 to get in. We need 10 and some help. We got to win the last 4 games. And the NFL, most games were decided by about 5 points. That's what they say. Like, most NFL games were decided by 5 points, less than a touchdown. You not playing your best cornerback because he hurt Matt Eberflus' feelings, and we lose by 3 points, or we lose by a touchdown because the secondary then gave up ass at the wrong time, and it completely kills our ability to get into the postseason. While everybody around us is failing and floundering. Shotty, that is on you. You let him, steal what could be a magical season. Because who to say we get into the postseason with the way this offense is playing, and we win this division, get a home playoff game that we can't advance? Who said that we can't advance with this offense and the firepower that we got playing at the crib? You know what I'm saying? So, Shotty, listen, you let common sense prevail, dog. I don't give a damn about the politics, man. This is strictly a football conversation I'm trying to have with you, Brian Schottenheimer. If Trevon Diggs is healthy enough to play, he is your best corner right now,
easily.
And if y'all don't like Trey, y'all can have a clear-cut divorce in the offseason.
Right.
In the offseason, I can draft somebody, I can trade for somebody, I can sign a free agent, I can figure stuff out to replace Trevon Diggs in the offseason. But what I cannot do, is sit Trey, and I don't have any real valuable options right now on the roster. I just can't do it.
Yeah, and Tuck in the building, he say Diggs and the Cowboys was a couple headed for a divorce, just sleeping in separate rooms till the paperwork finalized. It's immature.
You ain't lying.
Tuck, it's just immature, bro. It's this showing you football not first here, and this whole thing is putting a big old, in my opinion, dent in Shotty. And the credibility of Shotty. You can't spend all offseason and you can't go out here and say stuff like, we just waiting on him to have a good practice. He had a good practice. And then when he practices good, y'all, it just didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yep.
And then, how many times did they move the goalpost, bro? Several. Because remember, it started with a concussion. Then it moved to knee. Then they start talking about he out of shape. Right? Now they start talking about practice. Then they start saying we need a complete practice out of you. Then you get the complete practice, and yeah.
You know what this is? This is like the motherfucker that got caught cheating, and there's nothing in the world you can actually do to make up for it. They just keep adding shit on. Like, you either forgive me or let me go at this point.
Right. I said the same thing. You said it perfect. Yeah, and see, I knew it was what you said when Shotty said that he needs to do everything right. Like, whenever somebody says that, they not serious, bro.
Mm-mm.
You feel me? It's
everything. Like that's a blanket statement of that.
That's point. A blanket statement, but I'm gonna do something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I could sense from the heat, especially how Eberflus said what he said the other day. Like, when he was talking about Trevon, Matt Eberflus encouraged by teams' practice intensity and performance yesterday. He also said Trevon must do everything consistently from the time he. Man,
that's diabolical.
Yeah, that's down the way. So he got to. Now Revel don't have to do everything, cause see, he missed some practices, and he was limited at practice because of his knee. So he can miss. But Trey can't miss.
And you know what's crazy? Let me ask you a question, because you heard it. I'm not trying to throw my boy under the bus or anything. George Pickens been late to shit since he's been in Dallas. He's been late. He stayed out late and, missed the team bus and all that shit when they was in Vegas. He's been late for meetings. Has that stopped George Pickens from playing?
No.
And I'm willing to give George, I'm willing to give George Pickens $30+ million a year. This is not me saying that George Pickens is a bad guy. I'm just saying they're not treating people the same. And I'm telling you, it's because he's been hurt.
Yeah. Because
you know what it is when you're done with somebody. Like, all the shit that you let slide or you didn't appreciate before, but you appreciate the talent and you ain't say nothing about it. Once you feel they're not that person no more, or you feel like they can't do, can't do it the same way or some shit like that, everything a problem now.
Yeah.
Like, Trevon Diggs is probably still the same person.
Yeah.
It's just your relationship with Trevon Diggs is what has changed.
Yeah.
Like, he might have been anal, the last times. You know, he might have been. Trevon, they never talked. You remember they would call it. They were saying like, yeah, man, you know, ain't nobody in the defensive room that talked or said nothing. You know, what the rule? Like, yeah, like Trey never talked before. I barely know what this nigga sound like.
Yeah.
Like,
and Clarence said, Tug just said, Clarence said that he was starting all week, Diggs.
Yep.
So you give him, man, it's one of them coaches, bro. That's why I'm saying it's Scott Linehan, bro. And I think it's Matt Eberflus. I think it's Matt Eberflus, especially because of how he handled that grits. And I think what's going on is just like coaches do. Some people do, and they do this in corporate America. In corporate America, they do the same things to where I'm looking for a scapegoat. I'm looking for somebody to get the heat off the bad job that I'm doing. I think that's what's going on.
Shit, Dallas. That's the Dallas Cowboys culture. Look how they
It
did
is.
Mike McCarthy.
It is. It is our culture.
They put the dope and the gun in his trunk, and you know he the kingpin now. It's his fault. You know, never mind. You know the horrible drafts the Dallas Cowboys had. You know, the year before he got fired. Never mind the inability to spend real money in free agency. Never mind the injuries and the incompetence of the training staff. Mike McCarthy is your fault because you like curl routes. It's your fault, nigga. You gotta go.
Henny, we gotta talk about this too, bro. The obvious pattern of speaking out and retaliation.
I mean, you want to stay in Dallas, you got to shut up and dribble.
Yeah,
that's what they like.
That's what it is. Cause it's a pattern. It's a pattern. Amari, he spoke out about wanting more targets. Out of there. Dez talked about that our offense was too predictable. Out of there. Diggs wanted some more man. Said it respectfully. Out of there.
Be out of there. Yep.
And three of these people was totally respectful. Amari, respectful. Dez, respectful. Diggs. I showed y'all. You don't lie. Don't come in here lying. I already showed you the clips. It was nothing disrespectful about him saying and how he said he would want to see more men. Yeah. And you're right. Queen said, yeah, it was Jerry who said it's a lot of eyes on him. Yeah, man, this sound like high school, bro. They treated him like high school, like you can't walk in the building wrong. If you sneeze wrong, man, you stupid as hell. Bruh. And see, but let's talk about this, the consequences of speaking out.
Man, listen, if you want a long, prosperous career in Dallas, you cannot talk.
That's right.
You know, and you already showed all the examples. It don't matter who the hell you are.
Right.
You know, and that's probably why Dak is hesitant to say shit sometimes.
That's right.
Like this nigga, like shit. You ain't seen what they did to the last security guard. They gonna have a 7th-round pick, white man in here. Like, so yeah, cause listen, if they will move on from Dez Bryant 88, they'll move on from any goddamn body. If they will move on from Michael Parsons, they will move on from any goddamn body. You know, so
and since somebody
buck breaking.
That's what I said, buck breaking. That's what it is. And see, my boy Christian Woodford, do you know how stubborn you got to be to pull this off, boy? Yeah, you got to be pretty. Now, somebody said, I think they waited to see how he was going to respond on that interview yesterday, and the fact that he still seemed against the coaching staff. He seemed like he was against the coaching staff. I ain't see that.
He just seemed like
the only thing he said is, why y'all asking me? He said, I don't activate myself. You got to ask the coaches.
Yep.
Which is true. He doesn't activate. He been saying, I want to play. He been saying it for the last 2 weeks. So it's like, why y'all asking me? That's the only thing he said.
And it's crazy. And this is the thing too. It's not like, and this is, I think it's also, if he gets injured again, there's an injury clause in there.
They asked Jerry about that yesterday. He said he wasn't aware of that, but I ain't saying it's not, because it was one in Jalen's, and Jalen was the reason why they did it too.
Mm-hmm.
That injury clause was the exact reason why. Yeah.
But I also know this. Trevon Diggs ain't gonna get traded either, because it's like a $12 million difference trading him, than cutting him.
Yeah.
They only say about $3 million. They trade him away, and the draft pick won't be high enough to warrant the shit. You know what I'm saying? They would much rather cut him post June 1st, say to 15.5, than to get $3 million in cap relief and a low pick. So it's not this. So it's to the point where they only need to put him on the field and showcase him because they're not trying to move him.
Right. Angie just asked with a super chat, which QB go guard Jefferson? Bland with them banana steppers.
God damn. And they call me bullet. All right. Salute to Angie.
Salute.
Nobody is going to guard.
It don't make sense. Like football wise, it don't make sense at all. It don't make sense for you. How will you watch what happened against Detroit? And can I be honest? That's what I hated about the Murray discussion. We were spending so much time on Murray versus Logan Wilson, and they wasn't even the main people that caused Detroit to snowball our ass. You know what I mean? Like, y'all acting like they just ran the ball all the way down our throat. They had a couple of big runs in the red zone on short fields. But, man, come on, bro. Like, we got the film, bro. Like, it was the corners that was getting killed. 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 You know what I mean? Yeah. You had so many big plays on these corners. And then, hold on real quick. We got 2 super chats here. Queen said, I hate to put race into this, but name one time that Jerry Nim did this to a white, a YT. What's a YT?
White.
Okay, white player.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think about that.
They never did it to. They sort of did not Sean Lee. They sort of played in what my nigga name with the neck brace.
Oh, LVE, they showed him love. He should have been off the team.
They didn't let that man play on his 5th-year option. They refused his 5th-year option and then made that man play on like a prove-it deal. Then he got hurt again.
That was showing him grace. He should have been out the league. Look at, see, this is the worst part I hate is Revel holding his knee right there. And we over there, Revel just got through holding his knee like,
Hey, it's like that Family Guy meme.
I was thinking the same thing, bro. I was thinking the same thing, bro. That Family Guy went, we not laughing at Revel because it's not funny.
Yeah, we're laughing at that.
How messed up this is. It's messed up that Revel sitting there like that, holding his knee. A week later, like, yeah, we don't need Diggs. Like, Revel just missed a lot of this week because of his knee. And they over here like, don't activate.
You know that Kalen Carson boy, like, oh man.
Kalen Carson got double hamstring issues and they like, we don't need Diggs. Man, this is so clearly personal. Hold on. My boy Tuck say, if not the Eagles, the shut up and tackle is the biggest roadblock for the Cowboys' success. You can get arrested, but don't question decisions. He right. That is the clear pattern of your Dallas Cowboys. You can do anything criminal, but you bet not, even in respectful tone, say anything or question any leadership ever.
Hey, ain't the boy that had the vehicular homicide still with the organization?
Yeah, Brent.
That was Brent?
Yeah, his name Brent.
Oh shit, yeah. So like,
yeah, he's still with us. He's a scout now.
You can be a voyeur, you know, and you can retire with your pension.
Right.
I'm just saying, like anything is fine in Dallas as long as you ain't questioning what the fuck they doing.
Yeah, that's the pattern. I'ma likely re-air that episode because I showed all the evidence that once you speak out in Dallas, you gone. It don't matter who you are. Revel is just scared that he's gonna get re-injured.
No, Revel can't fucking move. I don't think he's scared of anything. I think Revel just really can't move with that big ass knee brace. Like Rebel would be fine, but they had that man leg like triple wrap. You know how you get shit in the mail?
Yeah.
And they gotta wrap it up because it's fragile.
Yeah.
Like that motherfucker got like bubble wrap, styrofoam, padding, the goddamn everything. His leg look mummified at this point, man.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. And see, let me ask you one more thing, bro. What you think about the timing?
Talking about the timing of having to need to win all these games and playing with
Nah,
Trevon
the
Diggs.
timing of announcing that Diggs out.
They said it won't be Saturday, but I hate they even did this shit.
Me too, bro.
They should have went ahead and did the shit, yesterday and stopped playing with me.
Or last Monday, like they should have did it. You did it the day. Can you imagine being a player, right, where you watch the guy start all week, have good practices all week, and you get a notification that he's inactive?
Man,
what does that communicate to the players? We got a super chat. Queen say he's scared to play without it though. He is scared to play without that brace. He said that too.
I don't think he can play without that motherfucking brace. That man knee stability probably ain't back yet. Like real talk. And I don't think he'll be and I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying he ain't gonna be what he's supposed to be until that knee brace come off.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see the best of Rebel till next year.
I don't think we're gonna see the best of Rebel the next year. I don't think Rebel should be playing. I hate that he's playing.
In a perfect world,
doesn't it say he had a setback to have that knee wrapped the way that it is this week? Doesn't that clearly say you had some type of setback?
Boss, I'll be quite frank with you. In a perfect world, none of these niggas would play this year. Not Trey, not Trevon. Maybe not even Bland, because he had a foot injury this year after having issues with his foot last year. Like in a perfect world, none of these guys would have to play. And I hate that we're in this position because I don't know if we got a single healthy corner on this team.
That's right.
Maybe Reddy Stewart.
Yeah, Reddy Stewart. Bridges.
That's the only. And Twequez is hurt. He's hurt.
He's hurt.
He's hurt up here. There ain't shit up here. He's touched. Yeah, he's hurt. He's hurt. And it hurts me to watch his ass play.
It did. Queen said his dad guaranteed it though. It said he was ready. Yeah, his dad was doing some.
Listen to me. I am never going to say nothing crazy about a parent hyping up their child. You know what I'm saying?
But you want to.
I want to. But
I do too. I do too.
But this. This was my son. Damn it, he the best nigga ever.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't
so
lying.
I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, I can't mad at him. But he's not my son.
Yeah, so I get it. I'm just talking about his comments. Of course, a parent, like, man, I know motherfuckers, kids done killed people. They're like, my baby would never do shit like, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I hate the timing though, bro. I hate the timing. This is just bad management. It's the only way I can just say it is. This is bad management. You don't publicly say we waiting on a good practice, declare it was a good practice, then turn around and say, but we not doing it. So what did he mess up on a walkthrough? Like for real, like what caused him? Man, he fell asleep in a meeting. Like what did it? So you can practice good all week. They come out and say, Brian said, he had a good week. A good week, not a good day, a good week. They say we waiting on you to have a good week. You have a good week and then they don't do it. What does that say about them? Does that say they're liars?
Of course they're liars. We know that they're liars.
Yeah.
The truth is optional.
Yeah. And then somebody with another super chat said emotional Jones bars all over this. Yeah, I agree. I think it's Eberflus the one being emotional though, and I think he doing it just like Scott Linehan, where he was trying to protect his job. So he looking for a scapegoat. He looking for somebody to blame. It was this Diggs guy. He wasn't bought in. Draft me another corner and we gonna be better.
But he didn't have to do that shit though, boss. You know, he already had an out with the Michael Parsons shit. People were giving him an out for the first part of the season. Like, let's be fair. He didn't have Micah. They traded Micah right before the season started. And then, like I told you, we're going to have a great final 7 stretch of games just based on who we played. We played 4 games. The defense looked improved in 3 of them. And then you're going to play J.J. McCarthy, who's considered the worst starting quarterback in the league. You're going to play Justin Herbert with a broken hand. You're going to play maybe Marcus Mariota. And then if you play Jackson Dart, he ain't going to have Malik Nabers. You're going to play some very favorable matchups, going down the stretch if you're Matt Eberflus. That's why I'm concerned. We were having this conversation on Twitter. Like, man, this shit going to look like it's on steroids if they play this shit right at the end of the season. So he didn't have to do none of this. He didn't have to scapegoat Trevon Diggs.
I think he planned himself because I think Minnesota the wrong team, even with McCarthy. I think that's the wrong team to think that quarterback play is gonna be guaranteed ass. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Matt Eberflus' defense too easy to read. You know what I mean? And I think this could be a career day. And it's based on how Matt Eberflus calls his defense with that static look where he shows it pre-snap. It's too easy today, bro. Bend don't break is outdated. So I honestly, if you want me to be honest, I don't like this matchup for Dallas. I think this is one of our worst ones of the year because Minnesota's the type team, in my opinion, honestly, that's like a quarterback away from being a real contender.
Yeah, they are a quarterback away. I just did a show with a Vikings content creator earlier on today, matter of fact. But I also, and this is the thing, it's going to be really determined on that front how well we play. You know what I'm saying?
Which side?
Our defensive line.
Okay.
Because pressure busts pipes, and this is not somebody that operates well under pressure.
True.
If Quentin Williams and Jadeveon Clowney possibly impact this game, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys will run away with it because we know that Brian Flores, even though he got good disguises at home, the Dallas Cowboys offense has played better schemes. We played the Chiefs. We played the Eagles defense, and we were able to move the ball and put up points. Even in this last game where we struggled a little bit to start, we scored 30 on the road. I don't know if this is a team, that can put up 30 on us. Like, they might give up some yards, they might even give up a touchdown or 2. But I feel like if we get to 30, we win this football game. I don't have that much faith in J.J. McCarthy just based on how I scouted him and how I looked at him.
No, yeah, he looked bad. He did, except for last game. He looked decent last game.
Except for last game.
He looked,
and it's also gonna be dependent. Can we stop the run this game?
Yeah,
you got Aaron Jones, the Cowboy,
right, and Mason.
People forget Mason had a very good game against the Dallas Cowboys when he was with the
San Fran
in the postseason.
So did. Yeah, so they got the tools, bro. They got the tools. They really do.
Hey, real quick, salute the Blink with the $4.99 for your mind. He said players always seem to have a breakout game versus Dallas.
Yep.
Well, a lot of them do, but
he right.
I'm just trying to see if they get back to form because they didn't let Geno get his groove back like we did Russell Wilson. We shut Jalen Hurts and the Eagles down in the second half. That wasn't the best performance of the young GOAT Patrick Mahomes. He got a touchdown late to make it look respectable. We were up by 10 in that game. So that's the thing. I'm holding out hope that getting Jadeveon Clowney back and playing this might be one of the worst quarterbacks we played all year. Getting Clowney back, being at home, and playing an inferior quarterback. I'm hoping that is going to be the difference in this football game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now
hope
it's
you're
playing
right.
with fire. It's
It
definitely playing
is.
with fire. Not having Diggs out there. Nobody would deny that. But you know,
Playing.
It's just the fact that we're going to have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Diggs is not playing, we're still going to have to find a way to win this football game.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Queen said, boss, you don't trust that shit anyway. Huh? What you talking about, Queen? I don't trust what? I might have waited too long to read that super chat. Yeah, and no, Diggs is not playing. My boy Tariq say, Diggs not playing? Nah. And see, that's shocking people because the reports have been he been practicing good.
Mm-hmm. He said he was finna be back.
Yep. It's personal, man. I think Matt Eberflus is hanging himself. Honestly, I think this is Matt hanging himself. And sadly, Jerry and them will let you do it. So think about it. When it was Scott Linehan, the players said that they felt like if you wasn't a Scott Linehan guy, you played less. And we was all saying that. Do you remember when we got Bryce Butler back? Remember that? And he played only 2 snaps.
Didn't make no sense.
And it was like, why you bring him back if you could only give him 2 snaps? But also, Bryce Butler was one of them that was speaking out subtly against play calling. Remember that?
Yeah, I also was going to say he was hooping with that. That's why he thought he can go somewhere and be a number 1.
That's
like,
right. It didn't make no sense to bring back Bryce Butler, who you right was hooping with Dak, but then don't use him. That show is just like Diggs. It's exactly like Diggs, where it don't make no sense, bruh. It don't make no sense. And that's why I say this has the full smell of Scott Linehan, bruh. You know what I mean? And see, I want to show that clip because people for some reason think when you're the best, you're going to play. No, sometimes these coaches will blame you, bench you, sabotage the team for themselves because they're blaming you. They say it's the culture. Diggs wasn't bought in. Henny,
talk to me.
What is it to be bought into?
There's nothing to be bought into. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you established. The defense was playing bad. And, Trevon Diggs, was all pro caliber, Pro Bowl caliber player before you brought your ass over here. So what is he buying into? He is and listen, he is the epitome of trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. You have nothing but man-to-man corners, yet you refuse to make adjustments to your defense. And you know what? We seen somebody do that. Because let me ask you a question. Yeah. What was Dan Quinn calling over there in Seattle? What was he doing in Seattle?
Cover 3.
Cover 3. So not man. He was doing cover 3 with some matching principles. He got over here, saw what the fuck he had. He said, we playing man. Play the most man in his tenure here. Right? Made an adjustment away from his comfort zone.
Ooh, see here, sometimes you say stuff too fast. Can you say all of that, slow it down, and add some elaboration on that?
Of course. So, when Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator of the Legion of Doom, and he was over there helping that team prosper and win championships, they were a primary cover 3 zone team.
Facts.
They were playing zone and not man.
That's right.
Richard Sherman is a zone corner, right? So they did that. He got his reputation. That is his system. He was playing primarily cover 3. They played a ton of zone, right? They even were one of the teams that made the revolution of playing cover 3 match to where it would be cover 3, but then if you get too far vertically up the field, this shit is man, right? He came to Dallas and realized he could not do that with the personnel that he had inherited. Remember, he did not draft Trevon Diggs. He did not do none of that. He was not here for that. So what he did was he made the adjustment himself. And instead of playing, primarily cover 3, he still played cover 3, right?
Yeah.
They play primarily cover 1.
That's right.
Which is a single high safety look and a straight up man across the board, right? Because he played to the strength of the team that he had, right? So I understand Flus, I play zone. So did Dan Quinn. And when Dan Quinn got over here, he played
changed
man because that what made sense with what he had. And you still got the same pieces here because they seem to still draft, whoever likes. That's probably just the kind of players that, what my brother name is eluding me right now. That's probably what Will McClay like. So you got 3 press man corners and you're playing almost 90% zone. It don't make fucking sense.
And you don't use Revel to his strength, which is press.
Yep, he is a press man corner. Trevon Diggs is a press man corner.
That's right.
Ron Bland is a press man corner. And to Angie Point, she hit me with a $9.99 for your mind. She said, even me, a fan, not bought into this shit, Blues putting it on the field.
Right.
Viking gonna air that bitch on us. I'm gonna be at that game too. Well, shit, Angie, I hope that you a good luck charm when you out there. Cause I hope that you in the building and they just get pick sixes and all kind of shit. I'm gonna hold my breath, but I don't want you to have a bad experience at the game.
Yeah, and see, what's getting ready to happen, y'all, is what always happens with Dallas. They fire the bad coach after they fired a good player. They do it every time. They do it every time. They get Dez, Amari. They going after the coach first. They go always blame the player first. Then they come back around and say, you know what? It actually was Kellen Moore. It actually was Scott Linehan. You know what? It was.
And it'd be too little too late at that point. But the front office is also goofy for that shit too. Because you let them go in, you got rid of Dez, and you decided wide receiver by committee was fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's still, you gotta have coachability in that shit too, Jerry, because you allowed. You let this man say, you know what? That guy that wear that legacy number that you like and spent the first round pick and gave all that money to, we don't even need him. We gonna get Allen Hurd and we gonna get Devontae Thompson and we gonna have Dak Prescott throw it to them. And that shit gonna make perfect sense. No, the fuck it didn't. It didn't.
I just don't understand, to your point earlier, how do you let these 3 or 1 override Brian? Brian, how does you allow that?
Exactly. I'm looking at, listen, I love Shotty. I think he's doing, given the shit he been given, your best defensive player being traded away, the tragic death of Marshawn Nealon, all the shit that's been going on, injuries to everybody in your secondary, injuries on your offensive line. You lost Trevon Diggs, CD Lamb for a prolonged period of time. I think he's not doing a bad job given the circumstances. But you have to put your foot down in situations like this. The way that you fought, for Tyler Booker in the war room,
that's right.
You need to fight with the same kind of passion and zeal, to get Trevon Diggs on the field if he's doing everything right.
Right.
And it will send a message like, you know what, Coach got me. I'm a ride or die for Coach. Coach got me. Coach believed in me. Coach gonna do right by me.
Because to be honest, they got Brian looking fraud. They do.
You do.
You can't go out there in the public and say, we just waiting on him to have a good practice. Say he had a good week of practice and then say, but we still don't want to play him.
Exactly. Because everything else you told me was a lie at that point.
That's
You're
right.
a liar. And you know what? And listen, like I said, I like Shotty, but if you're willing to compromise your integrity and your principles, you may not be the man I thought you was.
That's right. Yeah, and once you lose that,
you never get it back.
I don't think you can get that back. You can't get that back. These dudes is looking at their phones like, damn, Trey had a good week. And what it say to me is, if play is not protecting me, what protects me here?
Money don't protect you either. But Trey is also a paid guy.
Right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically teaching them to kiss rings. That's what it's doing. It's saying the way that you survive here is you gonna have to kiss the ring of people in power, because it's not play that's gonna do it. That's what it said. So anyway, man, I want to make sure I gave my take on this. It is coming from the coaches. They are snitching. I showed you the clip. That it's the coaches that reports and says if he's going to play or not, and it's the coach's recommendation. I showed that. If you missed it earlier, you might have to rewind it. But I showed Stephen Jones clearly said that it's these coaches that's going back like.
And salute to Angie with the $9.99 on my end. She said, I like Shotty, but this making him look like a straight bitch.
Yep.
And it does.
It does.
Like you have no teeth, you have no morals, you have no
it does.
If you allow them to do one of your veteran players like this. If he did and bought in and did everything that you asked him to, and he still can't see the field, you are not a man of integrity or a man of your word. And that shit counts and shit like this. I ain't put my body, my livelihood on the line. Like that motherfucker play football and can't walk afterwards, my man. And I'm supposed to go out here and fight tooth and nail and give my all for you, and you can't even get me on the field when I done bought in and did everything you asked me to. I'm not saying that Trevon Diggs is perfect or without sin. We all fall short of the glory of the Lord, but he ain't did nothing, to for this kind of treatment.
Nah,
he ain't killed nobody. He probably would have been better off in Dallas had he killed somebody.
Yeah.
Shit.
Sadly, you're right. People think you're playing, but you're right. People, no. Kevin Joseph, Coach Kevin Joseph had attempted murder that he was fighting, and he was at practice the next day.
Mm-hmm. And it took him being straight up dog shit in order for them to move on from here. They allowed somebody who was in the car when people were killed. The shots came from the car. It was his people that did the shit, and then somebody else just took the blame for it. You know what I'm saying? So like they allowed that person to come here and continue his football career, and it took him playing bad in order for them to sit him down and let him go. Trevon Diggs ain't did shit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't did nothing wrong from a legal standpoint, but yet you won't even let him prove if he still got it or not. You can at least let the man play, and if he don't play well, you can say I told you so. You ain't giving that man that kind of courtesy.
Yeah, cause see the reports is tripping me out because you hear reports say, yeah, he practiced good, but they got to where it was too sour.
Yeah, fuck being sour. Salute to Kendrick Thompson too for the $1.99. Said talk replacement for DC. It gonna happen. It need to happen.
Nah, I think they gonna fire Eberflus.
I am scared.
They gonna keep him.
He last four. I told you the shit gonna be fugazi. Cause listen, this is gonna be his argument. The moment I got Quentin Williams, this defense got better, and we won 7 of our final 8 games. That's what his sales pitch gonna be.
I got a real good comment right here. I think this is a balanced comment. Somebody said, but the thing is, boss, people complain about how Jerry and Steven too involved. Now when the coaches have control, why are y'all complaining? Because they fucking up too.
Yep. And that
so it's not about I don't care who in control as long as you're making good decisions.
If you get it right,
I don't care. If you're getting it right, I don't care who in control. And that's a good comment and fair comment, because I will say this has been a year of sponsor. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that, for people who might not understand, where coaches is getting what they want this year. I think Jerry is handing them a lot of rope, but I think that same rope gonna hang them too, because they did that to Mike McCarthy year one with Mike Nolan. Oh yeah, go Mike, your guy, go.
Yeah, get your homeboy,
Yeah, go. And then year two, they was all the way involved. Year three, all the way involved. Yeah, year one is the only time, really, in my opinion, from watching them, is where coaches really do get a lot of their way.
No, my next question is going to be.
But then I also got to say this. I'm sorry, Hen.
Go ahead.
You don't got a problem with this, bro? 1900 hoodlum. You ain't got no problem with this. You cool. I really want to know. You're cool with them saying he had a good practice, verbally saying he had a good practice, saying that's all we waiting on is a good practice, and then not doing it. You cool with that? We should just be like, that's what the coaches wanted. We should be cool with that. Them openly going back on their word, we should be okay with that.
We shouldn't. Well, my thing is going to be this to your last point. Because I know I just said that Shotty should have culpability, but also if the shit that ends up holding us back is Matt Eberflus, and Matt Eberflus with the Jerry Jones hire and the front office hire, will that leak over to Shotty and them? Because the move that Shotty made have been pretty damn good. From campaigning for Javonte Williams, bubble wrapping him, pushing for Tyler Booker, bringing in Clayton Adams, bringing in old buddy from Kansas State to be the offensive line coach, Riley. Like the Brian Schottenheimer move for the most part have been cool. So I'm trying to see, will Matt Eberflus being sorry as a bitch fuck it up for everybody, even though it's not really Shotty and them fault, because that was they guy.
Right.
That's my next question.
And somebody said, soon as Diggs did the interview, they said no. If that's the case, they are too soft to be in football. You soft as hell. If what he said offended you, you too soft. Like, you shouldn't be in football if he say, why y'all asking me? I don't activate myself. Why you asking me? You know what I'm saying? The coaches got to activate me. It ain't me. You got to ask them. They had no problem saying at first, it's us, right? Mm-hmm. Steven had no problem saying it. Oh, the coaches said we're waiting on him to have a good practice. So what's wrong with him saying it now?
Absolutely fucking nothing. Them niggas just got whole tendencies.
That's what I say. You too soft. If y'all can say the coaches make the decision, why can't he say the coaches make the decision?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm at that point. I'm just echoing what the fuck you said.
That's right. I don't get it, bro. Yeah. And see, listen, man. This is why people don't believe in the Cowboys, bro.
Shouldn't.
This is why people don't believe in the Cowboys, bro. You fighting to get in. You just got cooked that corner versus Detroit. Mm-hmm. Almost everybody hurt. Nah. Yeah. It's even if they righteous, people not gonna trust you. And I don't blame Cowboy Nation. I like, how can you trust this? You can't trust this, bro. You're like, nah, bro. You don't sit up and say he had a good week, and it's like you playing with him, bro. Let me ask you this question.
I'm down. Just talk to me.
Should they cut him now?
No. Because it fucks you over cutting him right now monetarily.
Yeah, because of the June 1st?
Yeah, you need to cut him later. You need to cut him, later. If you don't want Trey, he'll be unable to play after December 20th if you don't activate him any goddamn way. You know what I'm saying? Because you already opened his practice window. You get 21 days. If he's not activated once the practice window ends, then he goes back to IR for the rest of the season. That's what happened to Brandon Ayuk. They're headed toward a divorce over there with the 49ers. He could play. He wants to play. Similar situation. They're fucking done. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't want Trey, if this is really going to head towards a divorce, they're just going to wait till his practice window runs out next week. He's going to revert back to IR. They will cut him post June 1st and save $15.5 million. Because like I said, it's to the point now where the cap savings is too big to even trade him. Like it's like a $3 million cap save and a low round pick if you trade him, and it's 15.5 and he's a post June 1st cut. So that's what's going to happen with Trey.
I'm gonna read the super chat and I'm gonna push you back just a little bit. It's not a hard push though. Keystone, what's up, my homie? He said Eberflus knows his politics in Dallas, and he using it to his advantage. Never mind being soft. Plus, they waiting on that June cut. Diggs is done. Absolutely. And I think you said literally everything perfect. This is my slight pushback.
Talk to me.
Monetarily wise, you totally right. What about morale and distraction?
Morale and distraction.
Yeah.
The morale was fucked up when they didn't play him. Like you fucked up. You probably fucked up morale. You know, the moment he was healthy and couldn't play. You know, they're asking Dak Prescott about it. They're asking anybody, you know, with lips about the shit.
Right.
You know, and you know.
So do you get rid of that?
No. Because I'm not letting them compound a bad decision. I'm not letting that be the reason I don't have the money to get Jordan Pickens next year. I need every dollar. I need every penny. So guess what? If you got to go to that side of the house and I go to this side of the house, and you know we're going through the divorce, you know I'm not putting you out on the street because you is a good daddy or you is a good mama and you will be around the kids. Just don't fucking talk to me. You know what I'm saying? We going through what we going through. Take care of the kids. I'll be the fuck over here. Leave me the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? If we going through a divorce, it's like shit. But I am not making the matter worse. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking myself out of another player because I'm mad at Trevon Diggs. I don't want Trevon Diggs around. Right? They're the one that made the situation toxic. Trevon Diggs ain't did nothing. He can sit over there, you know, with a clear conscience, knowing that he did everything in his power. He came back early. He put in the extra work. You know, he been trying to fight and get back for his partners and them. You know, he been talking to team leadership because you know Dak said he didn't talk to Trey. You know, he said he gave him life advice and all kind of shit. So guess what? He done did everything in his power. Yeah. He done did everything in his motherfucking power.
So basically, what you're saying is because this go get worse. As long as he on it's gonna be put it like this. It's gonna be bad for another 7 days. Is that fair?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a distraction until it's not a distraction.
He ain't gotta listen. He ain't gotta even be in the building after he go on season ending IR. He can go rehab somewhere, do what the fuck he want to do. You know, he ain't gotta be there.
I hate this, bro. I hate this. It's like they can't lock in these last 4. It's like our players always got to deal with distraction, bro. We cannot lock in, bro. So
it's a curse.
Yeah. So now, man, did you have anything else, bro? I think I emptied out the clip.
If you done shooting, you know, I'm done shooting too, man. I think we done talked about how these niggas been hoes and fraudulent. And I feel that way for real though, man. I'm looking at Shotty sideways, man. Because you know, you may not have been, you know, the Nazi dragging the folks to the gas chamber, but you watch as your neighbors went out like that. You watch and you know what? They say for evil man to prevail, all it takes is for good man to do nothing. You may be a good man, Shotty, but you ain't did shit.
Look at this. Did you see this? Did you see this while you said what you said? Did you read that?
Said Brian shut down any speculation that Trevon Diggs won't be a part of the Cowboys team going forward. Said he's a Trevon fan and hopes he won't be sidelined too long. How long ago was this?
October. Ain't that best stuff though? Look from that to where we are. Look at that.
Bullshit. I ain't got. Yeah, no. I need to hear that kind of vote of confidence for that nigga right now. That's the kind of vote of confidence I need right now. Like, nah, he playing next week for sure. Like, you got, like, Shotty, you gotta put your foot down, man. If the man is healthy enough to play, you know, let him play. That's all I'm gonna say about the shit.
And then my boss say Jerry Jones hate paying people to sit on the couch. Maybe, just maybe, this on Diggs. I would say it was on Diggs if he wasn't ready to play. If they wasn't saying he had a great week this week of practice, I would be with you. But once you start saying he was with first team, he had a good week, he was intense, they saying all this, and we just want to get a good week of practice because he plays good when he has a good week of practice. I don't see how now we can blame Diggs. I don't. I just don't see it. So if anybody can explain it, I promise you I'm open to it. But lastly, bro, What we gonna do about getting Eberflus out of here? Now, me and you definitely believe that it's not gonna happen. And is there anything that can make you change?
Us failing, and I don't want that. It's a double-edged sword.
Right.
If the defense is bad, and we get our asses whooped, he'll be gone. But right. I want us, with the opportunity ahead of us, to build a winning culture, because Shotty himself said they got to learn how to win. Right? You can't do that by going 8-9. That's not a winning season.
No.
You do that by ending up 10-6-1, and you can say we were a half game for making the playoffs. That's how you build a winning culture. You win 10 out the gate and you build on that shit. But that's what I'm saying. If we fuck around and fail and we sorry, defense look shitty and all that stuff, yeah, they'll move on. But I just can't allow that to fucking happen.
Yeah, your hope don't want it to happen. It's only one thing that would make me change on wanting to get Eberflus out of here.
What's that?
If honestly nothing go change, I want him gone, bro. I don't like how he handled this Diggs shit. I don't like the grits. I don't like that he a Trojan horse. Hold on real quick. He say maybe Brian hates his professionalism. You talking about Diggs? If Brian is on some professionalism shit, he don't need to be in coaching. You don't coach these type of dudes and worry about professionalism, bro. I'll be honest with you.
If he cared about professionalism, and I know listen, I don't even mean to cut you off. When they were calling about George Pickens, and they like, man, he be sleeping in the meetings. You know what that nigga say? He said he was late from these. You know what he said?
What?
He said everybody oversleeps
Ain't
and
that
traded
something?
for the nigga.
Right.
He said everybody oversleeps and then traded for the nigga.
Right.
But he don't give a fuck about that.
And somebody start saying, who go cover Jetta?
The Lord.
And Addison?
Because the Lord is a Dallas Cowboys fan, he gonna make something happen for us. That's the only thing I can say.
I don't want to see another Detroit. And which receiver's better, Detroit or Minnesota?
These wide receivers should be better.
The quarterback is better, Detroit.
Yeah, that's the difference.
That's the difference. Yeah,
that's the biggest difference.
Yeah, he gotta go, bro. The only thing I want to see with him going forward, and we not go see it because we ain't seen it all year, is pre-snap disguises. We ain't gonna see it. We ain't gonna see no mugging.
I did send you something related to that.
Okay.
It's in your inbox.
You gonna give me some hope? You got some hope for me, dog?
No, I ain't got no hope.
Ain't no
hope in there.
It's confirmation. All right, hold on real quick. Damn. Bro, I was hoping you had good news.
Yeah, no.
All right, I'm in the inbox right now. Which let me see.
It's in your personal inbox, not in the group chat.
All right, hold on real quick. You got me curious now.
How often defenses blitz and how often they disguise coverage pre-snap to post-snap.
I got it right now. Let's talk about it. Let's go.
All righty. So you see the Dallas Cowboys, the teams in the bottom left quadrant. They are teams that say line it up and
hold on real quick, bro. I gotta make this bigger some kind of way. This is too good, bro. Hold on real quick. First of all, before you get going, bro, y'all clap it up, man, for my dog. Hold on real quick, dog. Hold on. Before you take off with this, because this is important, bro. This is, I honestly didn't want you to have confirmation, but I'm glad you do. Hold on. Let me just get it in a better presentable format. Give me 1 second. I want to get it to where you can really preach on this sermon, dog. All right, hold on real quick, because I know you finna cook this. Hold on real quick. Now, if y'all been sleepy, wake up, because Henny finna cook. Hold on real quick. It's pre-snap. I'm just labeling it, bro. Give me 1 second. I'm finna add it to the presentation right now. Here we go. And I'm gonna make it big. Pause.
Extra pause, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, super.
All right. So the graphic right there on the side, going up and down. That is the disguise coverage rate. This is how often they are disguising what the fuck they are in. Going horizontal, like this way, that's the blitz rate. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, because they're in this quadrant, they don't blitz or disguise shit. Both are hovering around about 25% or so. So they blitz about 25% of the time. They disguise what they're in about 25% of the time. Now, can it work? Kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
You know, the Houston Texans don't disguise what they're in much. They don't blitz much, but they're also a superbly talented team. They got Derek Stingley. They got Will Anderson. They got the Neil Hunter. They got
the talent to be like that.
Yeah, they got the talent. They got the talent to
they can line up and still beat you. That's the point.
Yeah.
They don't have to. Yeah, go ahead though.
Same with the Colts, you know. But look at all the other teams that are over here like that. The fucking Giants, the Jets. Even though the Browns have a sack master, you know, their defense that took a bunch of steps back this year. The Bengals have been awful. The Washington Commanders have been awful. You know what I'm saying? Most of the teams, you know, that don't disguise and don't blitz are bad defenses, including Dallas Cowboys. Let's just throw it out there. We ain't been shit majority of the season.
Right.
Now, in terms of the team that we're finna play, all the way over there, that's showing that they blitz the most. Nobody
they
in the
blitz
league,
and they disguise the most.
Yeah, they blitz. Now the team up here at the top, if you scroll up a little bit for me, just a little bit, scroll up. Now the defense that actually disguises the most with the high disguise rate are the Rams and the Panthers.
Yeah.
Right. If you look at the 49ers, I mean not the 49ers. If you look at the Seattle Seahawks and the Eagles, who are two great defenses. I know that we hooped on the Eagles. That is a Super Bowl winning defense. You don't know what they doing there in half of the time. They're in a disguise 40% of the time.
Right.
Same with Seattle. That's why Seattle can play less man than even we do, but be successful.
Right.
Because they don't mind, you know,
disguising
you out.
Right.
Disguise what they're doing.
Same thing with Vic. Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So they can play zone a whole lot. But you have no fucking idea what it is. Is it cover 2? Is it cover 6? Is it cover 0? Is it cover 3? Is it cover 1? You really don't know post snap, right? And the longer the quarterback holds the ball, usually, you know, the worst things happen. That's why they split a premium on looking at time to throw. And not saying that the offensive line is giving you that much time, but time to throw is actually indicating how long it actually takes you to get the ball out of your hand.
Man. This chart is amazing, bro. This is sad. I did a whole show on this today.
Mm-hmm.
On the disguise rate.
Yep. You're going to have to do one. You either have to blitz, and they know you coming, but you don't give a fuck, or you're going to have to disguise it. Like the Bears, they're a team that get a lot of turnovers. They're blitzing like they're near 10% more often than Dallas Cowboys do. The Broncos, they're not disguising a lot. They disguise less than we do. They're blitzing their asses off.
Right.
Vikings blitzing their asses off. Steelers blitzing. Hey, listen, if they fire Todd Bowles, I might go get his ass.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's why we can't let this cohesion stuff that Jerry be trying to push, bro. Nah, Jerry, we ain't taking Eberflus back. We ain't finna be, let's draft him what he needs for his system. Bro, listen. Deion Sanders couldn't be successful with Eberflus, bro.
No.
You can't keep playing even Deion off coverage all day in zone. It's with no disguises. In today's NFL, it would make Deion look weak. It would.
Mm-hmm. You got to pick a struggle. What I'm trying to tell y'all, you can either not disguise and bring pressure, or you can disguise your shit, you know, and play the 4-man rush.
Right.
You can't not do both. You got to choose, you know, a struggle. You can be ugly, or you can be broke. You cannot be both, my nigga.
My boy say to Vane Parkins, he say, I want our team to win, but I hope the secondary get aired out for this nonsense.
I mean, they probably are going to get aired out for this nonsense. They're going to be at least a player or two where somebody pisses down their leg when they're playing Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. You just got to hope that Dak Prescott and the offense are gangsters, which they are. You just got to hope that they go out here and perform. Like, this is a game that you're going to have to win like 31-21. Because I don't know if they can score more than that. But this is a game that the offense don't show up and Brian Flores in his bag. You can lose this game 21-17 or 24-17. This going to be Brian Schottenheimer. Since you're not letting Trevon Diggs play, you're going to have to, manufacture about 40 points for me to feel comfortable.
That's right. Ooh, on this D?
They're susceptible. This is a team that just got shut out and gave up 30 points, and then they turned around and scored 30 and shut a team out. You know what I mean? So,
but you said 40, bro. 40 on this D?
Yeah.
All right.
And the reason I say that is it's not that they're bad, but outside of like the Broncos game, like what was a defense that really just fucked us over? You know what I'm saying? Like, we put up 40 on the Packers with Micah Parsons, and they still had all their pieces together. I know that the Lions had some injuries, but you still went on the road and dropped 30, even with Dak Prescott having a 2-interception game. With Jake Ferguson from the ball at midfield. So like, I think it's just like the faith that I have in this offense. Like, this is an offense that really matches up well against anybody. Especially if we talk about our wide receivers against their corners. That's probably the best matchup. That and the fact that we probably can run the ball against this team. This is one of the few defenses that gives up more rushing yards than the Dallas Cowboys. Like, we give up like 123, even, factoring in that we were allowing about 70 after the bye.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing because they invested in the offseason heavily in their trenches. They got Hargraves. They got Allen.
Quentin Allen.
Yep.
Yep.
They invested into their trenches.
It also might be, due to the fact that he is blitzing that way. If you're not getting in there, you're gonna have a nice ass lane and they kick you out. They are a team. They do a lot of blitzing, but a lot of their blitzes come on first and second down. So they are susceptible to a quick pitch out. They are susceptible, to a well timed outside zone. Like, you can hit them, for a big play in the running game just based on how they blitz.
Edgy, she said, I gotta be petty. I guess they didn't let me be me.
Yeah. Ooh. They didn't let him be him.
Yeah.
Because, man, that don't make no sense not to play an all-pro corner. I know that he's had more, like I keep saying, more than one thing can be true. Like, Diggs is having a down year, and nobody else has done enough for you to say you don't need Trevon Diggs. That shit is just fair. You can be fair like that. You know what, Trey? Come out here and give it a try again.
Somebody said Flus always had good defenses. Do you think the DB and linebacker room not savvy enough to play in the modern defense?
No modern defense.
That's the real problem. Is they're not modern. Eberflus is now old. I just did a video about that this morning. So let me explain this. And that's why this chart that Henny said was so important. In the modern NFL, defenses are junking it up more with a lot of disguised coverages. Okay? So even if you go listen at Brian Flores and you go listen at Brian Schottenheimer talk about him, the thing that got Dallas nervous going against him is he's going to show a lot of pre-snap disguises. Eberflus defense is not like that. Eberflus is you line up in the coverage you getting a run. So they line up in cover two with the two safeties just sitting there on the halves. So it's an easier read. And in the modern NFL, where these teams are so much better at picking apart zone coverages and throwing with anticipation, it's not working like it used to. It's old. That's what's going on. That's why all these average quarterbacks have record days on us. That's why no down and distance feels safe. Even if it's 3rd and 19, don't you still be nervous, Henny?
As fuck. Because they done given up plenty of 3rd and longs over the course of the season. Plenty of them.
Plenty of them.
And like I said, you have to pick a struggle. You either going to blitz your ass off or you're going to disguise what you're doing. in order to be a good defense, right? And I guess, like the cutoff point is about over 30%. If you blitz over 30% of the time, you could be a good defense and not the Skies.
Right.
But because that's where the Broncos are at, they're past 30. That's where the Bears are at, they're past 30. That's where the Vikings are at, they blitzing down there 50% of the time.
Right.
Patriots, they're blitzing and they're disguising. It's past 25. They disguising about 30% of the time.
Kansas City, blitzing and disguising.
Blitzing and disguising. You talk about Seattle, they disguising their ass off. The Eagles were disguising their ass off. 49ers disguising their ass off. Bills, you don't know what the fuck the Bills doing apparently. Look at how they up there.
They disguising the hell out they stuff, but they ain't blitzing nothing. They all deception. They defense is all deception. From this chart, this is a great ass chart. We gonna need this at the end of the season. We gonna have to revisit this at the end of the season, bro. When we trying to get Matt Eberflus fired,
and then to the point that a lot of people were making, if he was disguising, the shit he doing might work.
Right.
If you give Quentin Williams another second to push the pocket, he probably gets home and disrupts the play. If you give Dante Fowler and Donovan Izaraku an extra second, they might get the strip sack. You know what I'm saying? Because if you play zone, you play zone with the understanding that eventually somebody is going to get into the open window. You know this and you understand this. You're factoring in like, hey, the pass rush is going to get there first. That what you're thinking when you play a 4-man rush.
Yeah.
You're trying to make them hold the ball so long that the pocket caves in.
Right.
That's the point of playing 7 in coverage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You trying to make them think.
Exactly.
That's the key. You trying to make them think. You lining up a way where they have to process. Your processor got to be much faster when you're going against disguised teams. And this chart is crazy because it's sad. It's sad. It's showing you we don't blitz and we don't disguise our defense. It's just basic.
Unfortunately, shit just ain't gonna work.
I got another super chat. He said, "Pass pro of the O-line too bad to score 40 against this defense. Dak will need to activate God mode."
Yeah, you've seen Dak activate God mode. He activated God mode against the Packers, and I also feel because Dak Prescott is such a good, pre-snap quarterback.
Yeah.
But remember, we beat the Chiefs with Nate Thomas starting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We beat the Chiefs with Nate Thomas,
and they disguise like a muff.
Yeah, so
you can see it. Look at Kansas City disguise rate.
Disguise and blitz rate.
Look what Dak did to Philly, and look at their disguise rate.
24 unanswered points.
Yeah. No, so Dak know how to read. He too much of a veteran to not know how to read.
Yeah.
But what?
Listen, if he hot, the ball coming out. He know where to go with the ball.
He know where to go with the ball. Yeah. Not saying he won't make a mistake, but he not prone to make a mistake like a younger quarterback. But anyway, man, I'll go ahead and give my final words and say this. Cowboys, with what you just did, you better ball.
You got no choice now.
You better ball. You can't fumble with what you just did. And regardless, the questions is coming your way after this, win or lose. And the reporter should pepper the hell out of y'all. They should be peppering y'all. It should be, how does a guy play good at practice? Y'all say he play good at practice, but yet he don't play. If a reporter don't ask that question, they soft.
They hella soft.
So
they stupid too. Man, my final word is this, man. Fuck politics, man. I want production.
That's right.
Production over politics, man. If Trevon Diggs is healthy, he should be playing. And at this point, man, if you go out here and lose this game like Shoddy, listen, I don't give a fuck if you're a rookie head coach no more. If you're already down to fall into the trap and the pitfalls of coaching in Dallas, we might need to have a conversation about you not being the coach.
That's right.
Like you might have to hit the dough with Eberflus since you ain't gonna check his ass.
That's right.
Either you down with us or you down with that nigga, man. You gonna have to pick a side.
That's right.
And shit, it's straight up and down like that, man. Fuck around and lose one of the games you want to. I'm on your ass the rest of the year, nigga. You better win the last 4 games. I don't give a fuck if that go down. You better win the last 4 games, bitch ass nigga.
No more N words.
You right. Matter of fact, did we even say sleeper before we got out of here?
Man, we didn't. I jumped on and say nothing about sleeping. All right.
It's not too late.
Let's get it. This stream was brought to you by Sleeper app. Go for a Hail Mary in your sleeper picks and win up to 100 times your money. Use promo code BCS and Sleeper will 100% match your first deposit up to $100 instantly. Man, Hen, I appreciate you coming on, bro. You brought a lot of value, bro. You brought a lot of value to the people. Y'all make sure y'all show my boy some love on his super chats. What's your cash app, homie?
My cash app is $ Henny the Moore.
Y'all put a couple of dollars in the homie pocket. You could also put some dollars in my pocket at Boss Cowboy Sports. We appreciate that always. But we got a game. Y'all better win, and you better do good. Your defense better ball out. If their secondary get cooked, boss is coming.
House.
Yeah, I'm coming hard at these boys.
Yeah. J-Jack wasn't lying. I wish I had seen that.
What's that?
I said J-Jack wasn't lying. He said, "God, they better check the track record. Dallas head coaches don't get